So it's saying it's using slow search, which can take some time. Okay, so now if all of you look at the screen, there are different, the SYN port scanning tool is also available. The name is slightly different, so I'm going to type use auxiliary /scanner /port scan /SYN. So the name is displayed in the first column itself, so that's what I'm kind of typing from. Then I type show options. So once again I can specify the ports 1 to 100, then specify the remote host or the victim. So in this case it's imt.edu, and then I type exploit, and it's showing me some kind of error message. Not a problem, but all of you get the whole idea. Sometimes you may get some error message with some modules. So in this case I believe this error message is because I'm running this on Windows, but if I run this in Linux or Backtrack, there won't be this error message. So try out different operating systems and see what happens. Similarly, you can perform an Xmas tree port scan. The name of the auxiliary module is auxiliary /scanner /port scan /Xmas, and instead of run at the end, you have to type exploit. That's the only difference. But everything else, all the commands have been displayed on the screen. You can also perform ACK port scan, which is the firewall detection port scan. So the auxiliary module is the use command followed by auxiliary /scanner /port scan /ACK. Set rhost to the victim, set rports to 1 to 100. Set verbose true is optional, and then at the end you type exploit instead of run. You can also perform daemon banner grabbing using Metasploit. So you have auxiliary modules like auxiliary /scanner /http _version. Then you set the rhost, which will be the victim, and then you type the exploit command. So I'm going to try to run this. This may or may not work. If it doesn't work, my apologies, because I normally don't use the Metasploit in Windows. So auxiliary scanner http /http_version. Okay. Then I type show options. So it's saying specify rhost. So rhost will be imt.edu, and then I'm going to try to exploit. So if all of you look at the screen, we just successfully managed to perform daemon banner grabbing. I'll just highlight the entire set of commands that I typed, so all of you can see exactly what I did. So I typed use auxiliary /scanner /http /http_version. Then I type show options. So it showed me all the different options that are available. So I needed to only specify the remote host, because the remote port has already been set to the current setting. If you look at the second column, it says current setting. It's already been specified to 80. So then I type set rhost to imt.edu, because that's the victim. And then I type the exploit command, and within a few seconds, it tells me that imt.edu is running Microsoft IIS 7.5. As simple as that. So that's how you can perform very simple daemon banner grabbing. So daemon banner grabbing, there are three main modules that are available in Metasploit. You have one module called auxiliary /scanner /pop3 /pop3_version. Then you have auxiliary /scanner /http/http_version. And then finally auxiliary /scanner /smtp/smtp_version. So these are the three main daemon banner grabbing Metasploit modules that are available. The next demonstration is pretty interesting. It's a simple command or module or exploit code, whatever you want to call it, that is available in Metasploit that allows you to grab email addresses from a particular website. So imagine that there's a website, say imt.edu or Facebook, not Facebook, but say your company website or a victim company website. What if you wanted to search every single web page on that company's website and collect all the email addresses that you find, right? So either you can do it manually, one by one, go to every page, or you can write a simple code for it, or a simple module for it, or you can use this ready-made module. And the name of the module is auxiliary/gather/search_email_collector. So let's go ahead and see a demonstration of this. So I'm going to type use auxiliary/gather/search_email_collector. Okay. Then I type show options. So you just need to specify the domain name to locate email addresses from. So I type set domain as imt.edu. And now I will go ahead and type exploit. So it says harvesting emails, searching Google for email addresses from imt.edu, extracting emails from Google search results, searching Bing email addresses from imt.edu. So these are the commands that I've typed. I first start with use auxiliary/gather/search_email_collector. Then I type show options. And then the only thing that I need to specify is domain. So I set the domain as imt.edu and I type exploit. So now what it is doing is that it's harvesting email addresses. So the way this works is that it will search Google, Yahoo and Bing for email addresses with the domain imt.edu. So if you notice, it has found two email addresses, akastia@imt.edu and vdavar@imt.edu. As simple as that. So any domain name that you might have, if you want to harvest email addresses of that particular domain, either you can manually search their website or you can use this module that is available in Metasploit. So grabbing email addresses from a website. It is also possible to execute a DOS attack against various victims using Metasploit. We will be discussing DOS attacks in detail later on in this course, but I just today wanted to introduce all of you to the power of Metasploit. So we have kind of finished information gathering and network reconnaissance, and I just wanted to show you the power of Metasploit and backtrack. So there is this auxiliary module in Metasploit called auxiliary/DOS/TCP/SYNFlood. So let's try to use it. So use auxiliary/DOS/TCP/SYNFlood. Then show options. So it says specify remote host. So let me specify remote host as imt.edu. And then let me try typing exploit. Just a quick warning, this may or may not work in Windows. So right now I'm using Windows, so let's see if this works or not. Yeah, if you notice, it shows this error generally in Windows that it's not able to find this module or find this particular, I think, plugin or something like that. Yeah, pcab rub not available, auxiliary failed. But basically, you can try this out in Backtrack or Linux, and we'll obviously be discussing this again in the DOS attack section. So I'll give you a demonstration in Backtrack then. It says use auxiliary/DOS/TCP/SYNFlood, show options, set rhost, exploit. So if you notice, all the different examples that I'm giving to you have a particular pattern. The first command usually is use command. The use command tells Metasploit which exploit code to use, right? Next is show options. So show options will tell you that, okay, this exploit code that you're trying to run requires the following input. And then you use the set command to specify the victim IP address, the port number of the victim, and other input that the module requires. And then finally you type the exploit command to execute that exploit code. So imagine that, coming back to the network reconnaissance context, imagine that during port scanning or OS detection, you find that the victim is running Windows 7. Then using security auditing or Google search, you figure out that it has a buffer overflow available. So now how do you execute the buffer overflow? All you have to do is open up Metasploit, use the use command to load the exploit code module of that buffer overflow, and then use the show options command to find all the options that or the input that you need to provide. Then use the set command to provide the input like the IP address of the victim, the port number of the victim, and other input that is required. And then type the exploit command to execute that particular exploit. So it's pretty easy actually to, once you have the loophole or the vulnerability of the victim ready with you, then it's very easy to use Metasploit to execute the attack or launch the attack. Now I'm sure all of you are realizing the importance or the significance of why information gathering and network reconnaissance is so important. You can also execute DOS attacks against specific servers like FileZilla and so on using the Metasploit software. So as you can clearly see, Metasploit is extremely powerful, and we will keep discussing Metasploit and backtrack multiple times throughout this AFCH course. And at this point of time, I'd like to actually start talking about the last aspect of information gathering, or the last technique of information gathering, which is a very interesting topic called Google Dorking or Google Docs. So what exactly are Google Docs and what makes them so important and so useful? Google hacking or Google Dorking is the use of clever Google search tags or commands to try and reveal or try and find out sensitive, confidential information about the victim, like the password files, vulnerable servers, and so on. A Google Doc, according to hacker slang, is somebody whose confidential data has been revealed with the use of Google hacking or Google Dorking. This will become a lot more clear after the next few examples. The first example is the info command. So you type info followed by say indiatimes.com, and kind of just shows you some basic information about indiatimes.com. For example, you can find web pages that contain the term indiatimes.com. You can find web pages from the site of this particular indiatimes.com, or you can find web pages that link to indiatimes.com, and you can find web pages that are similar to indiatimes.com. This is not very relevant to hacking, so I'm going to skip this particular Google Doc. But another very useful Google Doc is the cache command. So the cache command will basically allow you to load the cache of a particular, or the cache or the saved web page of a particular domain like Facebook. So if a particular website is down and you would still like to get a copy of it, then you can use the cache command, which is cache colon followed by the domain name or the URL whose cache copy you want, and press enter. Here, after the domain name, I have also typed password. So if you notice in the output, wherever the word password appears, that has been highlighted. There's another very interesting command called the link command. The link command actually displays all the web pages or the websites from where there is a link to your domain name. So let me actually demonstrate this to all of you. So I type google.com. So I go to google.com and I type say link mtvindia.com. So it's now showing me all the different websites which are linking to mtvindia.com. So that is what the link command does. Next comes all in title. All in title. Now this is an extremely useful command. Imagine that you want to identify the login pages of a particular website. So how do you do that? So I'm going to type all in title command and kind of show this to you. All in title login. So I Google search this, and if you notice, all in title command will only display those web pages which have the word login in the title of the web page. So if you look at the search results, let me zoom in a little bit so all of you can see what I'm talking about. So if you look at, so this is what I typed, all in title login. And if you look at the search results that we have got, every single search result has the word login in the title itself. So it has only shown us the login pages of various websites. But imagine that I am a hacker and I am looking for a login page of a particular domain name or of a particular victim. Then how do I use the all in title command to find that? So I actually combine two different Google Doc commands. One is all in title :login plus site :timesofindia.com. So if I want to find all the login pages of timesofindia.com, I type the command all in title :login space plus space site :timesofindia.com. So let me actually give a demonstration of this. So I type all in title :login plus site timesofindia.com. So let's see what shows up. So if you notice, we have successfully managed to find the login page of timesofindia.com. Now instead of timesofindia.com, I could also type icicibank.com. So now I have the links to all the login pages on icicibank.com. So that's the beauty of Google docking. Without making the victim suspicious of what you're doing, you are simply typing some special commands into Google and you're able to identify, say, login pages or login prompts that exist on the victim domain. Another similar command is all in URL. So instead of all in title, there's a command called all in URL. So let me demonstrate that to all of you.